Hey Sean,
Hey Tui.
how you doing, girl?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm good, girl. The sun is shining.
Weather's not so sweet at all, it is too cold.
Yeah, it's very cold, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Oh my god, but anyway, we're gonna get straight into it. Do you want to introduce yourself to the people?
Okay, obviously you just heard Tui introduce me, so I'm Sian. Stage name, Sian the Visionary, everything creative, that's what I do. Yeah, that's literally me in a nutshell. I just have a vision and I like to execute that through my work and through my art.
So, where did you grow up?
So in terms of area, Moss Side, Hume kind of way. Obviously not the greatest of areas, but I feel like there's a lot of stigma put towards that anyway. I feel like as a community we're all very, very strong. In terms of my background, I'm West Indian, Jamaican, you know how we do.
Amazing. So, can you tell us a little bit more about what you do?
In terms of my 9 to 5, I work in a creative college with a multitude of talented young people. I feel like for me it's probably like one of the best things I could have done because I'm able to kind of like be that person that I didn't really have when I was their age. Even though I'm only 21, I feel as though like there's still a massive age difference between those that I teach and interact with, and I'm happy to be a person that can shape lives because I feel like in the, how do I word this now? Like the educational system, I've realised is actually a business, and I feel like the real initial thoughts and like the mission that we have to make people better just kind of like wears away, and it kind of makes me sad. So I'm happy that I can do what I do. Mm-hmm. In terms of my artistry, singer, songwriter, spoken word artist. I do graphics for people from time to time, creative direction, videos, all of that.
What do you enjoy most about the creative side of just your passion?
It sounds crazy, but I like being vulnerable. I've always been told that I'm too sensitive and I'm a sensitive soul, but I think for me it's the part I love about myself most, because I feel as though when you're a creative you have to be vulnerable. You have to be willing to allow people to see you for who you really are, and that's what I enjoy the most about my work. I like to make my work like undeniably great, in terms of not that it's for everyone, but the fact that people can't like criticize it in a bad way. Like I'm just here telling my story, trying to connect with people, and I think that's what it's all about. In terms of creativity and art, it's very much universal, like we can all understand it, which I think is a very beautiful thing. And yeah, I think that's what I enjoy the most, connecting with people, sharing my story.
Would the storytelling aspect of things kind of be why you chose spoken word as an art form?
In terms of my spoken word, I've never been, when I was younger growing up, I always wanted to sing and dance and stuff. Like my mum will tell you that, like she'd always be telling me, Sian, shut up. But in terms of poetry and stuff, I always had a lot to say. I always had a lot on my mind. I was always going through a lot of things, and I really struggled on how to convey my emotions to people, kind of say what was on my mind. And I think during that early stage of my life, like from being a child up until like an early teen, I was very angry, and I was very hostile to a lot of people that didn't deserve it, and I went through a lot of things that I didn't really understand, and kind of writing was my way of peace. That was like my form of my medicine, because obviously when you're young you don't really understand depression too tough, you don't really understand your mental health and like the impacts it can have on you. So writing was just like my way of peace, and also kind of like a way for people to understand me and what was going on in my head and what I was going through, because it would be so hard for me to say. But when it came to writing, I don't know, it's just I could always put pen to paper and just like make my words do what it needed to do. And then I feel like from that point, that was when people really started to understand me and see me for who I was, because I've always gone through my life with people saying, oh, I don't understand you, like I don't get you, like why are you like this, why are you like that, why are you sensitive, why do you cry? And I'm like, I'm human, like I feel things. And I think that was the best way for me to engage with people and show that, because I started writing because I went through a lot with like my family and like my dad, and I wanted to be accepted and loved for who I was, and that was like the starting point of my spoken word journey, let's say.
So can you tell us like a few of the main lessons that you've learned during your pursuit of purpose, essentially?
One thing I've learned is to love unconditionally, because I think no matter where you are in life, there's always going to be people that are hurting. There's always going to be people that are silently suffering, and I think in a lot of respects, people can hurt each other without really knowing, because like we're all suffering and we all have a story to tell. But I think if you love people unconditionally, I feel as though you're naturally making your space a better place for those who are around you and for those who want to be invited into your space. It sounds cliche and cringy and corny, but just to love yourself, because if you don't love yourself, nobody else will. And it's actually so true. Like, if you're not comfortable and content with who you are and how you present yourself, like, no one is actually really going to take to you. You're always going to be placed in this facade and no one's actually going to know who you really are. Hence why when I'm performing, when I'm speaking to people, I try to be as authentic and as myself as possible, because I don't want people to get a misconception of me or create this idea that I'm this fake person. I just want to be me and be myself. What else have I learned? Pray for people even when they don't deserve it. Pray for people even when they don't deserve it, because I've learned that situations sometimes can naturally make you better. And I feel like as people, we need to speak against that, pray against that, whatever you believe in, whatever you gravitate towards, because I feel like if you don't, your experiences with other people or other situations or kind of like other life experiences that you want to gravitate towards just naturally become bitter and tarnished, because you've not really made amends or come to terms with like what's currently happened or like what's going on. Life is beautiful. I feel as though as people we overcomplicate things when we really don't need to. I think as long as you just show up every day, because every day is not going to be great, every day is not going to be perfect, but as long as you show up every day for yourself, the people that you love and the things that you want to do, like, life will be okay. I think that's one thing I'd like to say, like, you're actually alright. It's something one of my best friends says to me. She's always like to me, like, you're alright, and sometimes I don't feel like it, but in all honesty, like, I'm alright.
Amazing. So is there anyone that actually like inspires you, like you can say, you know what, this person really inspires me or has inspired your journey?
The list is very long, so I'm going to split it up and try not to be too long with it. First and foremost, my family, for a multitude of reasons. My mum, even though she didn't really understand my creative journey at first, she continued to show up for me after seeing what I was capable of doing. My siblings, because even though I've never really been the smart one, like, I have intelligence, but I've never been book smart, I've never been really like academically inclined like that. But having their support and just seeing them cheer me on for doing something that I love and I'm passionate about and believe I can do has really allowed me to grow and be the person, well, be the woman that I want to be. Who else? My dad, in a weird way. I love him from afar, but him initially telling me that I couldn't do it made me want to do it even more. Because I feel like when you come from an old-fashioned background, whether it's the BAME community, like whatever it is, I feel as though you're naturally told, oh, like, you need to be a doctor, you need to be a nurse, you need something that's financially stable. And I feel as though creatives have never really had the chance to show people, like, you can actually make money from this if you do it right. If you set yourself right and set yourself out from the rest, you can actually do it right. And in terms of, obviously, my best friends, so to name a few, like Cheyenne, Dave, Lauren, Tiwi, obviously the list is long, like my family, like just the people know who are in my life know that I appreciate them and I'm grateful for the lessons that I'm taught, because the people in my circle really give me the grace and the understanding of how to be a better woman, because I learned so many things from them. Like, I learned how to be a better person, how to be more compassionate, how to be more vulnerable, how to feel, how to connect more, how to present myself better. I'm just forever learning by the people in my circle, so the list is endless. But if I ever tell you that I love you, just know that the love is unconditional and I'm really grateful. The list is just long, but yeah.
Amazing.
You know
So
that.
just to end this whole, conversation, because that's what this is, do you have any just words of wisdom that you want to leave everyone with?
Okay, first of all, in terms of speaking to women, just be yourself. I feel as though, like, social media, men, not all men, but some, try to define us and tell us how we should be, how we should portray ourselves. But I think it's important to be yourself, especially as a woman, because there's so many things that we do and go through that is undeniably great, and other people don't have to experience it. Like, men don't have to go through it, like childbirth, periods, all these different things like we go through as women. But I feel as though it's not the only things that we should be known for. I think we should be known for our intelligence, how we present ourselves, the things that we want to do, like ambition, how we construct ourselves, how we want to benefit other people, how we want to help other people. Like, there's just so many things that we're not known for, and I feel as though perfect your art, your craft, whatever you decide to do, whatever you want to do in life, and make that your standpoint, and then continue to be unique and be all that you can be. Because I feel like once you do that, like, we're actually on a good path, because with the generation that we're in right now, it's kind of like a road to nowhere for both men and women. And I feel like if we work together collectively, things can change, and it only takes one person to start that change. I don't know if I'm making sense, but I feel like I'm making sense.
You make the most sense.
Right. Cool. Yeah, man, just to be authentic, make your art undeniable, whether it's academic or creative, and just be a good person. Like, being a good person gets you far, and love always wins, and be patient with yourself and other people, and everything will just fall into place,
Girl, you just are spitting the most bars.
We're just gonna roll with
I'm
it.
telling you now. Again, I just want to edify you a little bit. I need to edify you.
Nah, I'm joking. I'm very humbled and grateful to me. Thank you.
You are amazing. Like, you are actually sensational. And just the very fact that in everything you do, your main aim is to, make impacts on, a group of people who might otherwise, like, not be, like, I don't know, like, who aren't always the focus, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I hear that.
Yeah, like, I feel like that is so important. Like, you make people feel seen, and that is a big thing. Even if you don't realize it in the moment, it's a really, really big thing.
No, I agree. Last thing, if you feel like an outcast, it's okay. Do not fall into the trap of being like everybody else. There is only one you, and it is important to execute and define your oneself.
Yeah.
Be content with that. Find contentment in that, 100%. That's one thing I have to say, because I feel like I'm going back into conversation again when you just
No, you know what? Continue.
Like, literally, I was in, because obviously I work in a creative college, and like, people will be like to me, Miss, like, I feel like I don't fit in, like, I want to be like them, I want to be like her, I want to be like him, and I'm like, no, just be you. And I think that's something I struggled with when I was younger. Like, I wanted to fit in because I didn't fit in, and then the more I got older, the more I realized, like, it's okay to not fit in. It's okay to sometimes be an outcast or a shy away, because even if you are, you can spend time perfecting yourself whilst other people are literally copying each other. I think it's so important just to be who you want to be in this life, as long as you're not hurting anyone or tarnishing anyone. Like, as long as you're moving right and you're remaining fruitful in everything that you do, like, you're good. Do you know what I mean? Like, just be you.
Yeah.
And I've learned to just be me, and I'm not comfortable completely, and I'm not happy completely, but I'm starting to feel some great love within myself. So yeah,
You're becoming. You are becoming.
She innovates, baby.
Amazing. No, thank you so much for this conversation. It's just been amazing.
Tui, thank you for having me. You beautiful, beautiful soul.
Oh, I love you so much.
I love you too.
Okay, this is the end.
That's a wrap.
It's a wrap, baby.